Also being intensely debated are, as you'll know, statues and a number of public memorials. You'll have seen the video from Sunday of a statue of a Bristol slave trader being brought down by protesters and then thrown into Bristol's harbour. Well, today the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, tweeted this. He says, "We've unveiled a new commission to review and improve the diversity of our public landmarks. We must commemorate the achievements and diversity of all in our city, and that includes questioning which legacies are being celebrated." Well, some decisions have already been made already. This is from last night. A statue of a man called Robert Milligan was officially removed. Milligan founded the West India Docks in London, which were at this location. He was also a slave trader. He owned 2 sugar plantations and 526 slaves in Jamaica. The Museum for London, opposite which the statue stood, was in favour of its removal. It tweeted, "The Museum of London recognises that the monument is part of the ongoing problematic regime of whitewashing history, which disregards the pain of those who are still wrestling with the remnants of the crimes Milligan committed against humanity." And all across the UK, similar debates are taking place, not just in the UK, but particularly here, given the UK's history of empire and its role in the slave trade. And lots of people are getting involved. Activists have set up this website with a hit list of statues, plaques and memorials across the country, which they believe should be taken down. They've called it Topple the Racists. Some have already gone. This pub sign of a black man's head in Derbyshire was on the target list. The council says they will remove it, but residents took it down before the council could act, vowing to return it. And what Amal was saying about media applies to these public landmarks as well. While some cases are clearer cut than others, there's no consensus over where to draw the line or how to judge people whose public record included both bad and good. The site I showed you includes petitions to bring down statues of past Prime Ministers like Robert Peel and William Gladstone because they were against the abolition of the slave trade. John Kay has been looking into this issue from the south of England through another powerful historical figure.
He is Tavistock's most famous son. Sir Francis Drake circumnavigated the world. But is global change now catching up with him? Last night, protesters defaced the monument in his hometown. Is it time for that statue to go?
I think it probably is.
Tony says there should now be a public vote, but he knows it'll be controversial in a town that relies on the man who famously defeated the Spanish Armada.
So we're just about to come out of a coronavirus crisis, which has hit a lot of businesses very badly. And I don't want to see the demise of tourism, but I think, like any history, has not just to honour people's names, to remember, but remember good deeds and foul.
We did the whole commemorative pageant on Sir Francis Drake and what.
Jessica grew up in Tavistock and studied Drake at school. She'd like her kids to learn more about his links to slavery, but she thinks his statue should stay.
You can't erase it. It's always going to be there. So maybe just educate people a little bit more on what he stood for. But as for taking him down, absolutely ludicrous.